Hey, happy Friday. You know what time it is. It is time to hear from your
two favorite realtors
on the internet.
on the internet.
That's, guys, it's a saying that needs to be said every time because, quite frankly, it's true.
It's true, right?
And so it's good to join you here in this warm house we have here in Capitol Park down in Raleigh.
That's right.
For those who are tuning in from out of town, we're in North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina, that is.
That's right.
It is miserable outside. It's
Yep.
a little above freezing, so we're just getting rain that's not pretty. and yet the warmth in here of our hearts, our joy to have you joining us, and what we're going to bring to you is just bubbling over right now.
That's right. It's good. It's going to bring the joy.
I know.
And you're going to feel the passion and the warmth.
Which we do every week. And that it goes without saying is I really believe the information we're bringing you it's worth tuning in for 8 to 10 minutes.
That's right.
To get a hold. And I know we got a clock on that 8 to 10 minutes, so we know when we're going over, because we do want to provide. We know your time's valuable.
Yeah.
You're tuning in, and so we want to make sure it's golden and worth your time. So
yeah. Hey, thanks to everyone. I'm just going to say this to the troops. To everyone who participated in our giveaway last week. Super thankful for that. Excited to get those hats sent out. Mm-hmm. They are ordered, but they're coming in. So Jake, your hat is coming. Your hats are coming.
Jake from Allstate.
Jake from Allstate.
No, Jake from Freedom Fence.
That's right.
Freedom Fence Builders.
Yeah, that's right. I butchered the name last week.
No, you're good. Our executive directors in our earpiece, which you can't even see.
That's right.
She told us, she's like, "That's the wrong. Make sure you get it right."
That's
we
right.
did. So Jake, Jake, if you're not wearing this thing around town on the reg, I'm gonna steal it from you.
He doesn't deserve it. There's other people who want it.
There's no question.
So just keep that in mind, Jake. So anyway, but yeah, super excited to be with you guys this week. We're actually going to talk about a couple of interesting things. We do talk a lot about the benefits of home buying.
That's right.
We talk about that a lot. We talk about what's happening in the market, in the immediate market.
That's right.
Because we're seeing this every single day. We're seeing this every single week. It changes.
Yes.
And so there's some things that have kind of stagnated, some interest rate stagnation that's happened. Like not a ton of movement, not a lot happening there. And honest to goodness, there's not a lot that has changed from last week to this week as far as the intensity of the market.
No.
It's a hard time to buy. It's a hard time to be in the market.
Yes.
But it's the right time to buy. It's the
right.
right time to be in the market.
Yes.
But some things I want to ask you, and I want you to bring to the troops today is. Some of the things that some of our sellers can think about when either prepping for the greatest return on investment, that ROI, so what can they do to their house?
Yep.
But that has to go both ways. I mean, if you're saying it to a seller, you got to be saying it to a buyer, right?
Buyer.
So I think between the two of us here today, I think that's what ultimately we want to bring to you guys is how to think about this from a seller's perspective and a buyer's perspective.
Yes.
Whether you're looking for max return on investment as a seller, or if you're looking for that thing that can, in fact, be improved upon if you're purchasing the property, and then to see that maximum return, whether it's to rent the place, whether it's to sell the place, whether it's to live temporarily and then rent the place, or live temporarily and sell the place. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that our clients are doing it.
Totally. So I think conventional wisdom would say, and again, I don't know, Brian, I'm going to just talk to you candidly here. I'm glad you had someone join on yours. Because mine's saying, hang on, we're telling followers to join your video. No one is on there. So Instagram is telling nobody on mine, or they don't want to come on, which is fine. I want to feel like that they told people and that there's response. It looks like Clayton is on, so that's good. Clayton, we're thrilled you're here.
Yeah, that's right.
No one from my sphere is here, and they're missing out. That being
the
said,
Facebook crew's watching.
Good for that's right, and I'll repost that. That's right. We don't do it for the followers, but it makes us feel better. Okay, here's the deal. So I think ROI, right? And I think talking to a current home buyer, end of the day, I think number one, it goes out saying if it's your home, you can do whatever the heck you want to with it. Yeah. If you want to make it feel like you're living in like a modern northwestern home in Portland, or you're in like a southwestern vibe in Austin, you do what you want to with the home.
That's right.
What we're trying to bring to you today would be a few things that we see. Obviously, we see an immense amount of homes, new construction, things that go really quickly, things that stay on the market.
Yes.
So we do know what kind of renovations and what are the things that people see and are like hopping all over. Okay, what are the few of those things? I'll go, and then I'd love to hear your thoughts. The best return on investment, most likely, in a house is a kitchen or like really a master bathroom or other bathrooms.
Yeah.
A kitchen is just such a central part of a house.
Yeah.
And so if that's updated, that is something that I immediately can go to and say, man, that backsplash, those countertops, man, these they're soft close, terrific.
Yeah.
What are the things that are like the things that make a kitchen feel like that's a gathering point? Because I think we are in a society where like the kitchen becomes a focal point. So do you have the ability to put an island in there? Do that. Is there a place you can create kind of a scoot up bar or something that you could, well then do that. Is there a way to have a fancy backsplash with, granite or quartz or some sort of beautiful stone? If you can do that, these are the things that do bring a lot of return on investment. Same can be said for a master bathroom, right? A lot of times the person who's buying will be occupying the master suite. And so having a walk-in shower, baths hit or miss. It's good to have one in the house in case for like kids or family or dogs for that matter. But a walk-in shower, a vanity that looks updated, minimal's still fine. But just having something that it's like, okay, the sink is still at, the low sinks. I mean, that's a dated sink.
That's right.
That's a dated vanity.
That's right.
So is there small things you can do around like even the perimeter of a mirror? Is there certain things you can do with the lighting that just add a certain level of modern to even a small or dated bathroom that's attached to the master? Those two things at large. And I'll say the last thing here and then I'll punt it over would be, if at all possible, we are seeing a trend at large. This goes without saying, but the often quoted open floor concept, or open concept rather. If you can take down a wall safely with architectural approval or structural engineer approval, and that's always and to open up a space. That always goes a long way. So those are the things I think I've seen. What about you, Brian?
Yeah, I mean, I could reiterate everything that you just got done saying. I could reiterate every single one of those points. I actually watched an amazing seminar on a very successful home flipper that is out in the Arizona area. But the Phoenix area, but oh my goodness, I mean, he said my number one ROI item is removing a wall. Number one.
Okay.
So you're right, you pegged it. And so the ability to say, I can make this floor plan something unique and something that someone's going to fall in love with and just enjoy the vibe of being in the space. If I can do that at a cheap enough cost and not spend too much money, then I might actually see the greatest return on investment. That is what some of the experts have told us. I'm going to add a couple things to your list,
please,
just to fill it in. Right? People fall in love with homes before they ever see the inside, and so some of the curb appeal, some of the most inexpensive things you can do to a house, mulch. A paint job can actually be expensive, but in the grand scheme of things can really bring that return. So I mean, if you're looking at a yellow or an orange or maybe an off-dated blue house, right, and you want to like make the biggest impact to the curb appeal and have someone fall in love before they even walk in the front door. Ultimately, here's what we tell our clients: we want that buyer to already want your house.
That's right.
And then maybe look past some of the negatives after they've walked in.
Totally.
They're looking for reasons to buy it rather than reasons to not buy it. If that makes any sense.
Totally.
So curb appeal is huge, and it can be relatively inexpensive in the grand scheme of things. And then for me, I always try to I filter it in this priority list for the interior for my clients, and that is let's start with paint on the walls, and then let's move to flooring. Paint on the walls, flooring, and then everything that you just got done telling folks. So there's some things that people can do. We're talking sweat equity. We're not talking like
these aren't major capital.
These are not major things that have to be done.
That's right.
Unless, of course, removing walls. That's kind of a big thing.
That's a big one.
But yeah, now I know that we just brought that from the seller's perspective, what you can do to a home, but from a buyer's perspective, would you not give them the same advice when they're looking at houses?
Totally.
I mean, to see past maybe some of these things to get a little bit of a better deal.
Yeah. And I think if I can just kind of wrap in what I think we're going with next, if you can have this mindset going into some homes that have been sitting on the market for a little bit, those sometimes are, for example, Open Door and so like Zillow, even Mark Spain at some level, but Redfin. These are kind of hedge funds that have bought homes, essentially keeping them to go into market. Usually there's a reason why. These are ones that are not as attractive. They're not going to go first or second weekend, but they're sitting usually for cosmetic or maybe just an outline or rather a layout problem, obstacle,
Guys, this is gold. I want you to hold on to every word that Sandy is saying right now.
So if you can take what we just said about what would look good in a home, if you can take that mindset, see through walls, see through or see what could be rather.
Some of the cosmetics.
Then you can go into it and say, hey, listen, like I can get a new construction, which will already have all the bells and whistles, but you can get an open door, a home that's been sitting for longer than 2 weeks without having to go into paying some ridiculous amount over asking first weekend, all seller favorable terms. You don't have to go there.
And are you seeing some inventory sit more than 2 weeks?
A little bit.
Yeah.
So I actually looked last night. There are in Raleigh detached open door homes. 7.
Awesome.
So there are 7 opportunities that
are. So 7 of you need to be calling us today.
I know. And I don't know. I mean, that could be. I mean, and someone's gonna be wrong with them. Open door homes notoriously have something wrong. I tell every one of my clients when going in.
That's right.
Apart from, there's a reason they've been sitting, but if you can have a mindset, then the great thing about open door, it's a first come, first serve, much like new construction.
That's right.
So you will know where you stand. There's an offer in and there's not. If there's not, then you're up to bat.
Yeah, that's right.
Now you're not going to get much off asking, but it's way better than having to pay 20, 30
X over asking,
putting down ridiculous amounts of due diligence.
That's right.
I say all that to say. There are some ways you got to be strategic in this market, which comes back to you got to know what can a home be?
Yes.
And you have to sometimes take that in, and then that'll really open up your opportunities to get into a home in this market. Which we said week after week, this still is a great time to buy.
That's right.
You just got to have the right mindset going into it.
That's right. Boom, guys. So many good things coming at you today. This is what we want to bring in the form of value is something that you can tangibly act upon.
Yep.
I don't want to bring you ethereal stuff that just doesn't impact your life. It doesn't impact whether or not you buy or sell your house. Sandy and I want to bring you stuff that you can act upon today. So like right now, you're in the market, you're looking to buy a house, you can strategically say, Sandy, show me the open doors. Let me see them. Like if they've been 2 weeks on market, a week on market, let me see those. Let me see if I can dream a little bit. Maybe I can get at a better price. And man, there was plenty of our clients right now that don't have 10, 15, 20 grand of due diligence to put down on a house. They just don't have it.
Right.
So maybe the strategy needs to change. Maybe the strategy is, you know what? I can buy that house with only 3 grand in the bank. I can buy it. Is it gonna be a project or a proposition over time? Yeah, maybe so. But anyways, this is stuff that you can act upon, guys. So if you own a house or if you're looking to buy a place, you've heard it from us. Your 2 favorite realtors on the internet.
2 favorite on the internet.
That's right. What you can do right now. So guys, conquer the home buying process. Just crush the home buying process, crush the home selling process, and we would love to help you do just that, guys.
That's all I got.
That's all you got?
I think we have solidified what we need to say. I think we've provided on a platter.
That's right.
It's accessible, and now will you take a bite with us at the table of real estate, guys? It's been great as always. Thanks for joining with us. Your 2 favorite realtors on the internet. I'm Sandy.
Bryant, love it, guys. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend.